All right. Hey, Scott.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. All right. Let's take a look at these screens. Let me share my screen so we can look at the same thing together.
Okay.
Let me know when you see it.
Yep, got it.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So we are looking at some new screens that we're going to be releasing soon to help account owners and non-account owners who reach a temporarily suspended account to let them do certain things to either update their credit card, upgrade their account from a trial, cancel or export their data before some of these like would require them to contact support, right?
Yeah, primarily for export and to extend their trial.
Oh, right. We didn't have self-service extend your trial at all, right?
Yeah, they would always have to call in for that. So we're giving them that new option.
Cool. All right. So let's go through these. I had a couple. I looked at this briefly earlier. I had a couple thoughts. And
Hmm.
for those, let's see. We got okay. So we've got two columns here. We got failed billing stuff and then trial expired owners and non-owners, and then another one over here on the right too. We can talk about that in a second. So I had a couple thoughts on the owners column for both failed billing and trial expired. Um,
Hmm.
I feel like the cancel and export options below the primary button are a little bit they feel too much like footers than like viable options. I know I like
Hmm.
your approach how you kind of there's like one thing we primarily want you to do, which is what most people would do. But I feel like maybe we could have something at the bottom where it's like you can also, or these could be bullet points tied into another grouping, which is like, or you can, or something like that to make sure that they're not just dismissed or not dismissed, but I should say not ignored, but instead are clear options for other things you might be able to do.
Right. Yeah, like right now, it's just kind of like I see a big green button and then FAQs. Like,
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, I can see the value in like explicitly calling that out. Like, you can also cancel your account or export your data.
yeah. And I think we could probably be less verbose too in those options. So if we did like a you can also, we could just say like cancel your account. Like I don't know if we need to say no longer using Basecamp. We'll be sorry to see you go. All those things like
Yeah.
those are nice things to say, but we can just like get to it. Because I think the more words we have down there, the easier it is just to sort of ignore it. Um,
Right.
but it's like you can also cancel your account, which would be a bullet and a link, and then or export your data, um, bullet, link. I think that'd be just clear overall. We also have like
Right.
we have enough language up top, so I feel like we can cut down on the language. I think that'd be an improvement. And the other reason why is because if we're really trying to make sure that this is something people can do on a self-service basis, if they miss this, then we're not doing the design's not doing its job. Basically, if they have to contact support, we're not
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
gaining anything. Even though the design's better than it was before, it's not really helpful. So
Yeah, it doesn't
cool,
matter if they don't see it, then and they're still calling support.
right?
There is not kind of not shown here is like a link to contact support in the footer of all these screens. I just chopped it off because it
Ah,
wasn't really
okay,
the focus. Yeah,
okay. So there actually is like a is there a horizontal rule basically, and then a
it's outside of the white sheet, so
oh, it's
it's
underneath the
just
white
kind of in
sheet.
the
Right, right.
yeah yeah
Okay, that's good too. I mean, it's nice that there's always like a panic button essentially, like help. I
yeah
don't know
yeah.
what to do. Yeah, cool. Okay, that's great. So those are solid. I also think, excuse me, we're being probably a bit repetitive on the language. Like your account is frozen, and then we is the headline, and we lead also with your account is frozen. So
Hmm.
maybe we can rewrite those so it's more like let's say your account is frozen is the headline, and then just like um, we couldn't process your last payment on August 24th, 2008. So, or like maybe we could just stop there. Like we weren't able to process your last payment on August 24th, 2018. Period.
Right,
Um,
that's fine as a sentence all by itself.
yeah, I think so. I think so. Like we'll have to look at it, and I just don't want someone to wonder like, okay, so. But I think the headline is enough, and like it's pretty obvious that you're kind of at a block here. So I think that might be enough, just to not, just to cut down on the copy again. And then
Hmm.
on the non-owners one, which is similar. Of course, we don't have all the same options because you can't cancel if you're not an owner and you can't export. Um, I think it might be nice also with the language. So like your account is frozen, and then actually, we talked about this before about like changing the headline here to be more a little bit more context, like the Basecamp account exclamation or quotes account name is frozen. I think would just
Yep,
help with the
yep.
context. And then instead of saying your account is frozen because it's not an account owner, and it's like is it you may have a login across multiple Basecamps, so you don't really want to say your account because that could be really scary. But more like this Basecamp account is frozen. Like until it's renewed by or until it's restored or I don't know what
So it's
language.
turned back on.
Yeah, that's good. Until it's turned back on by one of the account owners, comma, nobody will be able to log in or something like that.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, because it's easy to forget that the URL only has like a string of numbers. So there's
right.
like no context. There's no context which account we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so
So
that's a good idea.
yeah, and it's not your account anyway. It's like the account you're
That's
part of.
true.
So and then I
Yep.
think we've notified Jason Frieder, that would be the account owner, that this account was frozen, but you may want to reach out in case Jason didn't see the message. I like that idea. What's your thinking on, like, are we revealing too much by revealing the full account owner's name? Do you think we should use, like, first name and then last initial? Because there is in some sense, if someone, I mean, they'd have to guess the URL, but they might be able to get a sense of who the account owner is. I don't know if it really matters, but I wonder if it might be helpful to do
Right.
that.
I guess, I mean, are you worried that somebody who's just kind of guessing would see the screen? Because I guess it's only going to happen if the account's frozen in the first place.
Right. No, it's more just like, I don't know if it's really even a privacy thing. I'm not sure if this really matters. Just as a quick thought, because you're already on the account with this person and you're going to recognize their name and the whole thing. So it may not be a big deal. It's just a thought. And I like how we have the secondary. So is the second block there any other additional primary account owners? Or not primary, but secondary account owners?
Yeah, it just lists them in a sentence. If there's more in this particular test account, there's
Yep.
just David, so it's just him. But it would say like David, Jeremy, whatever.
Right. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
just so you have a few other options if like those first two people have left the company or something.
Okay. And then down by the trial expired one, it says your trial is expired. Again, it's not really yours. So let's come up with
Yeah, I think
something
these
else.
should be synced up. Yep.
Yeah. Um,
In as
and
much as we're referring to this, like this account is this
yeah,
account's trial over, or
I mean, part of what I'm wondering is that for non-account owners that can't actually act on billing or trial issues,
yeah,
should we even be referencing that? I mean, and I think we kind of talked a little bit about eliminating it in the first one for the failed billing non-owners, but I'm wondering if there's something more generic here, which is like a trial expired for a non-owner is maybe too specific, and also it could be embarrassing for the owner. You know, I don't know if it's. I wonder what kind of language, if there's other language we can come up with here that's less.
you mean it reveals too much of the mechanics of like what chain of events happen to like create this dialogue?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that it's like, is it like I wouldn't want an owner to be embarrassed that someone logged in and say like their trial expired, which is sort of just like it's like, oh, I didn't know we were trialing Basecamp. Like I didn't know that we were, you know what I mean? Like I thought we were using this, just kind of like one of these like moments when someone might learn something about an account someone else didn't want them to know about.
Well, it's a little tricky because one thing we're surfacing here for the non-owners is the ability to extend the trial. So
Yeah, that's true.
that's the only reason we kind of kept it explicit for the non-owners too, which is that like we refer back to, okay, like your trial expired, but hey, you can extend it. If we said something else in the headline, then revealed that the trial could be expired or extended, it's a little strange. But
Yeah, you're right. Actually, no, you're right. You're right. I think maybe it's more the top one, which is like the failed billing, which we don't really talk about. But I think that one we did improve by saying like until it's turned back on or whatever.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then so the trial one's probably fine. I guess again, like just it's not your trial, and then
Hmm. We need
and
to
then
show what Basecamp account this is again, because like just like the other non-owner one, we're not
yeah,
very explicit.
I think so. And then also like your account is frozen because your trial expired. We could probably say like the trial for this account expired on date, therefore no one's able to log in until um, the account owner renews the account or something. I don't know. Just again, although we're not really repeating headlines there, but I just feel like getting to the point sooner might be helpful there. We've notified the account owner. The account was frozen. You may want to reach out. All your data is safe and sound. Once Jason reactivates his account, you can pick up right where we left off. Need more time. Okay, so back to like need more time on your trial. It's more like
Mm,
need to get in before Jason turns the account back on. We're happy to extend the trial for another week. Like it's really that. It's like that's the moment where it's like, shit, I need to get in here because like I have to do something or I need to get something. Versus like playing on the extend trial language is a little bit more logistical
yeah,
than like what you're really kind of like hoping to be able to do. It's like shit, I need to get in here. So it's like need to get in and get something or get some work done. Like we're happy to extend it. We're happy to
right.
let you in for a week while Jason works things out or whatever it is, something like that. I think play to that scenario more so people are like yeah this is what I want. I get it.
Right. Yeah, it's not, you're not extending the trial per se. Like your motivation is like, I need to have that chat I was having, or I need to go finish my to-do list, or like, I
Right.
just need
Like
to
I've
get
got
back to
work to
work.
do. I've got work to do. Like
Yeah.
I'm still on the hook for the work that I have to do, which is in Basecamp. For whatever reason, like the owner is out of town or someone can't get in, but like the client's waiting for me to get them something. Like I help, you know. So like if we can speak to that scenario, you know, without panic, but like speak to that scenario, I
Yeah.
think people will be like, oh yeah, thank you, appreciate that, great. So that sort of thing. So like if you still need to get some of the work in here or whatever, we're happy to help you out with that or something like that. Um,
Yeah, that
cancellation
makes sense.
screen, yeah, cancellation screens are good. When you cancel, here's what's going to happen. And I like how you have the export. You might want to say with the export your data. So I'm on the right hand side now, where it says if you'd like a
Yeah.
backup of everything, remember to export your data before you cancel. It might be worth in bold saying you will not be able to export after you cancel. So be sure. So if you want to export data
Mm,
before, you just kind of flip the sentence a bit. So it's like if you'd like to export data, now is the time to do that. Once you cancel your account, you won't be able to export data any longer or something. Just to kind of create the content or the contrast, and like this is the time, this is the moment.
right.
Um,
That makes sense. Right now, it's like, remember, it might be nice to export your data, and then there's like, well, I'll do it later, but the
yeah,
consequence isn't really highlighted at all.
right. There's kind of no. You don't realize that you kind of can't. I mean, technically, you could get back to it. You can write
Sure.
support and the whole thing, but like, it's a
Yep.
little bit nonchalant here. And when we don't need to frighten people, but it's like if you're about to cancel, you probably want to do this, and this is the time to do it. I think just being clear about that. And then the last thing is let's kill the smiley face in our logo, even though that's our logo.
Yeah.
Let's just kill the face
Yeah.
because these are a little bit passive aggressive. Ultimately,
Yeah.
your account's frozen, just smiling at you. You know. So I think if we just
Right.
kill the face in the logo, the Basecamp logo can stand on its own without the face here, and I think it'll just be a little bit more appropriate, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I
Um,
was gonna say one extra thing I didn't highlight was on the trial expired non-owner page. It has a button if you're allowed to extend your trial for 1 week. That is like if you haven't already kicked the can down the road for 1 week. We show you the button.
right.
If you've already extended your trial, we surface the other owners to contact.
Okay, so we
Like,
kind of
so,
pull that down from above.
yeah,
Yeah,
yep. So
that's
that's like a
cool.
condition that we show. We don't. I didn't bother to show it here because I felt like I want to like get to the chase of like being able to extend the trial. So
Yeah.
it only shows up if you've like already tried it.
One other thought I had, I don't know if this matters. I'm curious what you think. We name drop here. We've notified this person or that person, but we don't really say why them. Do you think it would
Oh,
be,
like that they're the owner.
yeah, do you think it'd be helpful to say, like, we've notified Jason Fried, like in parentheses, like the account owner, or something like that, or we've notified the account owner, parentheses, Jason Fried. Just so it's like, there's a little
Yeah.
bit of context, like why Jason, why David? I mean, you might know, but like some other company, 600 people in the company, someone set up the Basecamp account originally who nobody, you don't really interface with that person. You don't even know who John Doe is. It's like, who is that and why
Yeah.
them?
It could just be the person who signed up for Basecamp, and it's just some total random person.
Yeah. So I think it'd be nice to probably say we've notified the account owner, and then in parentheses put the account owner's name, and then down below we don't need to say, like, I like how you say if Jason isn't available, David is. We don't need to say David's also an account owner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of already like set the table with that like these people we're calling out are like important.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay, yeah, I had a different version of this where we did say account owners. I think you're right. I pulled it out because it was getting wordy, but I think there's a lot of other changes we've discussed that I think we'll cut that back in the first place. So I think it's easy to put back in.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, I get the instinct. It's like this paragraph could be 4 lines now instead of 3. And it's like, it's getting long. But I think that additional context would help. Also, like, there's other places to trim the text there. So it's like, we've notified the account owner, parentheses, name, that this account's frozen. You know, if you, like, that this account was frozen, just that this account's frozen.
Yeah.
Like, period. Even like you may want to reach out in case you didn't see the message. Like,
Yeah, we could remove that.
you can remove that, or there's probably a way to shorten it, which is like, let's say we've notified the account owner that this account was frozen. Fine, that's fine. Period. You could say like something like, feel free to remind them if necessary, or something. I don't know, or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I like the suggestion. I like the friendly, like, hey, just remind them, reach out personally. But I suspect that people will do that anyway if the account doesn't work. So I think we should just lose that, and then we just save 2 lines, and then the other addition is no big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I like I like the instinct of the conversational, friendly suggestion. And maybe it can stay too. I don't know. You'll have to see what it looks like when you add account owner. But if you're feeling like it's getting a bit long for whatever reason, I'd trim it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll see how. I mean, it's gonna kind of cascade from the other changes that we're making. So
yeah,
see how that feels.
Okay. The other thing to keep in mind is I know we were talking about adding the account name to the headlines. That could push some of those into 4 lines or something really long. So it could, if you should try like the account, like the Basecamp account, like Hudsucker Industries Limited or something. Like we should see what that looks like, and if that's starting to look really bad, like maybe it's not an improvement. Perhaps like we could add the account name above the box. You know how you have like support below the box? We could add it above the box.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Yep.
So the headline is predictable. Like we know how short it is, and it's 1 line, and we don't have to worry about that because like big, bold, heavy lines, 2 or 3 lines is too much. But we do want that name. So I think maybe I would try it above. Actually, I'd try it above.
Just the account : Hudsucker Industries.
Yeah, or just Hudsucker Industries. Like I don't even know if it needs account : like
That's true. Yeah.
You'll kind of know.
You'll recognize that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Anything else on this? I think those. I mean, they're minor tweaks. I think overall, this is it's so much nicer. It's more consistent. Like the other designs or the existing designs are like there's like 5 different looks.
It's all over the map, and it's the other thing that we found was like it doesn't really frame the conversation. Like it doesn't. It's just like, okay, here's a credit card form.
Right.
Like there you go. Or like pick a plan. There's a very small header that says your child has expired.
Yeah, I saw that, but you're gonna skip right over that.
You're not going to see it. It's fine being there. Like when you click through to the plan selection, it's like okay to be a background reminder of that. But like we were basically leaning on that to tell you the status, but you would just skip it. So
there's also really no good place necessarily to extend the trial for a week on that screen because it was sort of like this big thing about choosing a plan, and we'd have this tiny link which you'd never see. So,
right,
cool.
We did add one thing one thing Jeff and I added to that screen, I know we're not looking at that screen, but on the plan selection screen, we added one link below the two plans to cancel the account, because there's a situation where you come in via email to pick your plan, because the email like explicitly says pick a plan now.
Right.
Or not pick a plan, but pick a pay now or something. I forget exactly what it says, but then you could just be stuck. You'd be like, well, I can't cancel because you're not on any of these interstitials because you didn't log in through the regular flow.
Right. Yeah,
you click directly from the email. So we added just a one-liner.
Okay.
And then you get sent to this, are you sure you want to cancel your account screen that we already have?
Yep.
So that's a change that isn't represented in these screens here, but it's small. We just wanted to make sure we connected those dots because it also allows you to export from this screen, this cancellation screen.
Right. Oh, right. Now, yep. No, that's great. That's great. We'll have to see. We should catch up with support like after this to see if like the instance of the number of people, I should say, who request a cancel or request an export goes down. Because if not, like we're not making it obvious enough, that sort of thing. So it might be worth just making a note like a month later just to check in and see if there's any anecdotal feel like we've solved it or not, because we want to make sure we have.
It's good too because Chris just ran those numbers.
Yep.
So we should be able to track pretty well, like once we, say, okay, whenever we ship this, July 27th or whatever, we can say like how it's improved.
Right. And speaking of, on the right-hand side, the "Are you sure you want to cancel your account" screen, we have the "When you cancel" bullet, and then we have that other block. I actually think that other block, I know we're going to rewrite it, but I think it should actually get a header, which is remember to export your data. Like, let's just tell people to do it. So that way it's not just, again, like another block, but it's like when you cancel and remember to export your data and then cancel. Yes, like remember to cancel.
You won't be able to export after you cancel, so do it now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it also just it highlights it because that's kind of the whole point of this design exercise is to make sure that like nobody misses the fact that they can do this themselves. So let's just play that up. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like right now, you'll probably read it, but it'll be even better if it has a header.
Agreed.
Yep.
You'll be stopped. I mean, the thing is like a header stops you. It stops your eye.
Yeah.
And you read the header because it's short and it's bold. You cannot not read it basically, but you can definitely not read a block of text.
Right.
And if the header is like remember to. It's like then it's even more important. It injects a sense of like this is something I'm supposed to do, which is what we really want you to. I mean, why wouldn't we want you to export it? Even if you don't want it, like let's recommend that you do. It's a good idea. It's your data. Here it is. Like we put together a really nice format for it, so you should have it. Take it with you.
Yep.
Cool.
Totally.
All right, man. That's it.
Cool. All right. Yeah.
Very
thanks
good.
for going over these screens.
You bet. Thanks.
All right.
Catch you later. Hopefully you don't get hailed on.
Yeah. I'll take cover.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
See ya. Bye.